Good evening, good evening, good evening. You know why I'm here. Thank you guys for checking out another one of my weekly Forex analysis. I'm gonna be you know, I guys, I usually do. Actually, I don't have where I have the fundamental analysis at where the news pops up, and apparently we don't have that much fundamental analysis that we got to really worry about. All we have is Thursday federal chair Powell speaks, and there's going to be core retail sales, so there might be some volatility at the ending of the week. But other than that, there's nothing really going on fundamentally wise, this week for any of the other pairs. So just watch out for USD pairs on Thursday and Friday for any type of like just for any type of volatility. I don't really care too much about um, news like that, but I just like to check it over every week. Got to make sure what's going to be happening. That's so weird. Hold on, guys. Sorry. All right, cool. So, anyways, DXY. So, what I'm still looking at for DXY, I love this weekly candle that printed out. The price ended up dropping a little lower than what I was initially expecting, but then ended up popping to the upside anyways. And so, this is exactly what I love to see on the weekly candles. I love seeing that. So, let's go into the daily time frame. 3 days of bullish price action. I would like to see that a lot, but right now, what I would want to see the U.S. dollar do is actually make a retracement to the downside, and I'm just going to go ahead and come on to the 4-hour time frame to show that, and we do even have a gap to the downside. So first things first, going to go ahead and label that. Oops, wrong place actually. Label the gap right here and illustrated as a open gap. And so I'll be definitely looking for price to retrace to the downside to go and clear up that gap first and foremost, right? But also, what I would want to see, let me see, because I don't really see an impulse move here necessarily, but I would still want to see if price does chill right here, if that's where price does decide to relax to make a correction of any sort. Sorry, wrong indicator. Then I would want price to do something kind of like this. Although again, I don't really necessarily care for this movement because it's not a impulsive move. Like you see this impulsive move on the lower time frame. This is what I've been looking for much better. But then since this kept pushing to the upside, I still want to kind of see price do a retracement to the downside and then continue to the upside on a higher time frame before I look to get into any USD pairs. Kind of took the rest of the week after Wednesday, other than the trades that I was already in. Kind of took a break from those. I mean, from the week, but yeah. And then you can also even see that there was a gap to the upside that price never ended up filling out until just today, until when market opened. So that's another good sign to see that price may continue going to the upside. But again, I want to see a retracement of some sort happen before I get into any USD pairs for the long term, like what I'm talking about swinging, right? And so, kind of same thing over here. We have this gap to the downside. Once price gapped, it kept pushing to the upside. Just want a retracement, then a continuation to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at for the DXY. What are these fib levels? So the fib levels that I use are they are the 61.8 right here, the 71% right here, and then the 78.6. That those are my fib levels, and that's what I look to use during fib. I mean, during any type of retracements. So that's what I'm looking at. And so this is for regular technical analysis point of view that I'm looking at. And then I'm going to go ahead and go over to arbitrage to the right. And I still haven't updated it for its new things quite yet. And then, so let me go ahead and go over to the daily time frame, see what the daily is looking like, clear off the charts. So On the DXY, on arbitrage, we do have price starting to look like it wants to go bullish on the daily time frame. Starting to get the other indicators down here looking the same, but it's not quite ready yet. But I do love seeing that. That is a good thing for me to start seeing. 4 hour time frame, price had already called that bullish buy right here. End up retesting this with a wick and then push to the upside. So not really looking for any buys right now. For the DXY, want this sell that it's starting to set up for to play out. So I'm going to be looking more at the 15-minute time frame for any potential downside moves for the DXY, but not really going to be looking at anything right now. Just like I said, just want to wait and see this play out and see if the DXY is going to actually stop here or if it's going to keep going a little higher and break this bearish structure that's right here before it makes a retracement of some sort. So just want to see what price is going to end up doing. Let me change this color. So yeah, we'll see what price decides to do, but over here would be a level of interest for me for price to potentially spike up and then push down for retracement, and that would be kind of nice actually for a potential sell to buy type of thing. All right, let's go on to EU. This was a trade that I did myself, I think. That didn't play out nicely, or I didn't even take, I think. Oh, no, I did personally. Yeah, I did, and I took the L on it. All right, so EU, kind of the same thing as a DXY. Weekly time frame, beautiful. Ooh. We mean, where are my zones drawn? Yeah, it's totally fine. That's totally fine that you ask questions. So these are where my zones are drawn on the weekly time frame. It's between 1.24455 and 1.22527. Oh, my zones, I draw them just based off of weekly support and or weekly supply and demand zones, and I just look to see any type of interactions when price gets there, look for any type of stop hunts or anything like that. And so yeah, that's basically how I draw my zones. But so weekly time frame, we have price. Like I said on the deal on the DXY, I love seeing that price gave this nice wick to the upside and it gave a bearish close. So I definitely am looking for sells on there. So if you go on to the daily time frame, see 3 days of bearishness. Price did come down to this little minor support. Well, not minor. It's probably like a daily. Don't want to. Yeah, I'll say it's a daily support because it's pretty visible on the daily time frame. But nonetheless, I still do want to see price make that retracement. Same thing as with the DXY. I want to see some type of retracement before I continue trying to sell. That's the only way that I could really look to possibly get in this. And if it doesn't do something like that, then hey, I missed the trade and it is what it is. But I'd rather, yeah, that looks a little sloppy. Let me do it this way better. That is a good question. Once I think I didn't set it up for a limited zoom. Let me see if I could try to do that on my phone right now. But I'll go ahead and talk about that once I talk about cryptocurrency towards the ending of the zoom. But so yeah, what I want to see with Euro USD, I want to see price push back up to 1.22986 before I continue trying to sell it. That's what I'll be looking for more of. So that's with Euro USD. Really, I don't really have much to say because it's kind of the exact opposite of the DXY. But same thing here, 15-minute time frame. This is what I'll be looking at for a potential buy entry so that I could buy to sell, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and put a long alert once per bar close, create. And I'll see how that goes out with Euro USD, but it looks pretty oversold on the 1 hour. And the 4 hour still looks like it could potentially come down to this 2 deviation right here. So gonna wait and see how Euro USD plays out as well. So gonna be watching for this later today for a potential small intraday move. Let's go on over to GBP USD. All right, so GU, these played out nicely, but I'm going to go ahead and delete everything except for this zone that's up here that I had drawn. There we go. And so go on to the weekly time frame. No, that's not really an engulfing bearish candle. I do like the wick that I left up here, but it's still not necessarily a bearish engulfing candle. So could still see some type of potential consolidation with the GBPs right here until we get a better candlestick reading type of thing. But on the daily time frame, I do like seeing this type of daily candle though. This candle right here is telling me that the buyers are exhausted and they're looking to, the sellers are looking to take over this market. And we can see that definitely GBPs have been in a tear recently to the upside. So it might be time for price to start to make some type of retracement. I mean, this isn't any type of impulsive move whatsoever to the upside, but I still kind of would want to see what price might do if it ends up coming down to 1.29779 over in the long run. That's not going to happen today, tomorrow, or next week. But that's just something that I'm eyeing for personally. So I'm actually going to go ahead and draw that out as a zone to be potentially watching for. But again, that's going to be like in the long term. So I'm just going to hide this and hide this as well. And then I'm going to go on to the 4-hour time frame and see what we have here. So price continuing to with that bearish push to the downside. This could actually possibly pump from here because this definitely looks more of a, it's not impulsive necessarily, but it looks more of an impulsive move than a lot of other things that I have fibbed. And this is coming down to this buying area right here. If price is going to continue on to its bullish trend, because it is in a bullish trend market, even though there is the whole Brexit news and everything like that, like I said, I don't really care too much about the fundamental news. But just based off of, like I said, that previous daily candle, this may continue to drop, but I kind of do want to see what price might have in store for us here, because again, price is in a bullish market, and even on the daily time frame, it's not anywhere near a bullish market. It would need to break something like this structure that's right over here for it to be, in my eyes at least, to be considered okay. Once price breaks through here, then it could be in a bearish market. But until then, this is in a bullish market, and so what I'm saying is that right here could be a possible place to be looking for buy. So I'm going to wait until 1.35063 personally. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert there. Although price almost hit it. But I'm going to go ahead and send an alert there and see, why am I not seeing an alert? That's interesting. I really don't see an alert. Oh, there it is, because I did press the wrong thing. Crossing 71% fib. And then I'm going to go ahead and see exactly what price is going to do over here. Because like I said, this could be a potential place to be looking for buys on GBP/USD if the GBPs are really going to go bullish. And I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be, except for last week. They were pretty much indestructible and bullish. So let's see how that plays out, though. Going to arbitrage. First of all, I want to put that on blue. 15-minute arbitrage, saying that it's oversold. Could be looking for a turning point here, which is a good sign for my potential sell. I don't like how the 1 hour looks. Just caught for a sell and then started pushing to the downside. Nothing level pro and level pro right here and arbitrage Z are both saying that it's looking like it's still selling. And 4 hour definitely is called for this sell. So got to really be careful over here. That's why I don't want to really rush into the trade. Kind of want to wait. I'm actually probably gonna end up waiting on the 15-minute time frame for this play to actually end up happening. So go ahead, arbitrage, long, once per bar close, create. Still gonna be watching for it though, because it could definitely just end up pushed down to 1.34853, which would be an even better entry than what I want. And then price can push up to the upside. But again, gotta wait and see. But until let me go into the daily time frame real quick. But again, until this like 1.34600 level gets broken and the price starts to push to the downside there, I can't really call this a bearish market. It's nothing but bulls over here. So that's on GBP USD. Let's go over to AU. Oh, I hate this pair, man. I just been hating the AUD pairs so much. Look at this nonsense. It's just been crazy bullish. Doesn't have any means of looking like it wants to stop. I could even probably draw a channel on this first and foremost. It was nothing too crazy. Yeah, I don't even like it that much, to be honest with you. But yeah, AUD USD is just going crazy with the bulls since March. Absolute, just no retracements whatsoever. Unless you want to call this a retracement, but no retracements whatsoever, and price is just going and going. It doesn't want to even stop. Let's go on to the daily time frame. Even the daily, I don't care for. I got the break and retest of this zone that I had drawn out. Kind of want to actually buy this, to be honest with you. Damn pattern. Yeah, this holds right here. I'm looking actually. I'll probably say AUD USD is going to continue to the upside. I have no interest in actually trying to sell AUD USD. For me personally, I don't want to trade it right now. It's just, like I said, it's just been crazy, man. But weekly time frame, it's just it's held before as a support. I mean, as a resistance. I wanted to hold as a support right here and then continue to the upside. But I'm not going to trade this right now until I see something better. I'll probably try to play a 15-minute move on it or something, because I do, like I said, I do see that it could be potentially holding down here, then push to the upside. But nah. I want to actually take it off of my watch list. That's how bad I don't want to trade it right now. Okay. GA finally closed up this gap, actually pushed lower than what I wanted it to do. Well, that's fine, because I didn't even play this out that much last week, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't get this push to the upside like how I wanted it, but hey, looks like we have a double bottom right here. So I'm still going to have this fib chilling right here, because we do have a double bottom with price coming down to this low that it made on 11th of December. And price did hold there for a couple of days now. So maybe, let me push this a little lower. Go on to the weekly time frame. See what that looks like. That bearish candle looks crazy. I still want to see some type of retracement regardless. I mean, even if it's just this right here. Let's go into the 4 hour. Even if it's just this type of retracement to potentially go bearish, then sure. But I definitely am not in any type of way trying to sell GBP AUD at this low, especially with me looking to kind of buy GU at the same time with this double bottom that's happening on GA is kind of tempting. So gonna see how this plays out for sure, but definitely looking kind of for a buy to sell type of move right now. 1 hour time frame, nothing crazy that I want to see. Well, nothing crazy that would help me on here. Let me go on to arbitrage. So GPAUD's already made his bullish move. This is just sloppiness right here. Don't like that, but the 4-hour might look nice. Not really. Well, it is setting up for a 4-hour long-term buy. Let me go into the 2-hour real quick. And the 2-hour, there you go. That's what I usually do. If the 1-hour looks sloppy, I just look at the 2-hour. So the 2-hour right here is actually looking like it might be setting up for a good buy, which is kind of what well, not kind of, but I do want to see a bullish move on the GPAUD regardless. So I'm actually going to take this move right here. I'm going to put my stop loss. I put my stop loss under these lows right here. And that's a 75 pip stop loss, 463 pips. That's a risk to reward of 2.19. I'm most likely going to risk 1% on this trade. So there's that. Usually I would say I want the break and retest of the RSI line, but it looks like price has been just playing around with this RSI line and been consolidating here. So I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and take this trade. So I'm going to be in this GA trade. I don't think, oh, there it is. Never mind. So I could definitely get into this right here. GB. All right, so open calculator, stop loss 1.74324. Oops, number lock was off. 1.74324. And then TP is at 1.76713. All right. And then I want risk. There we go. To be 1%. Open trade. All right. So in there like swimwear, I'm going to set my alert out to give us an exit, but most likely if it does tell us to exit, then our stop loss would get hit, and that's totally fine with me. So long exit all, once per close. There you go. And again, I'm risking 1% on this trade, so I suggest you trade a maximum of 2% just to be safe. But hey, you're going to trade how you want to trade on your thing, right? All right, so let's go on over to EA. Absolute horrendous EA. I don't really care for it. I did really want to see this push to the upside before looking for a continuation to the downside move. I don't know why I had my support here, as well, because probably that's where price was chilling at. But it looks way better if you have your zone drawn out right here on the weekly, where you see that price when it made this bullish move. Use this as a heavy support and then continue to the upside. Kind of want to see what it does from here. But if this is going to push to the downside, I still do want to see price climb up to 1.65400 before I would consider selling. But I can't just sell from right here. Best bet would probably be to wait for price to potentially come down, grab some liquidity that's matched up with right here, and then go to the upside type of thing. But I'm going to go ahead and actually look at what the point of control is on EA. I do see. I'll post up another link once this 10 minutes is up, because I did accidentally forget to change it again. But yeah, you see price is even close to where I kind of want to see it go up to. That's where the point of control is at. So kind of still want to see what price would do if it does decide to come up there. But that fake out to the downside is very much possible as well. But since I'm in this GA buy, I kind of want to buy EA at the same time, right? But it just depends on what I'm looking at. I'd rather see EA consolidate down here a little longer before I consider trying to get into a buy personally. But that's just me. It's been really bearish for the past couple of days. got some bullish momentum right here. Let's see if we can get a smaller, lower time frame entry for a potential. Yeah, so if price can actually come down to right here at 1.57500, then that would be actually pretty solid. Because if I draw this fib right here, unless that's a gap that I didn't notice, it matches up with the 61.8 fib, but I'd rather prefer the 71% entry. So I'm actually gonna set an alert right here. Add alert, not once per barcodes, and then this would be the 71% fib, and then that's actually 61.8. My bad, 61.8 fib. Creates, and then we'll see how that plays out. I don't necessarily think that it's going to come back down here, but again, this looks like it was actually, yeah, this is definitely a gap. So there's a gap down here to the downside that could definitely get grabbed before price pushes up to the upside. But let's wait and see what happens. Arbitrage, I'm for sure knowing that the 1 hour has already been called. Oh no, never mind. It hasn't been called quite yet. It is right now. I think I would think that it's going to be called right now. I don't care for how the 1 hour looks, so I'd rather play it off of the 2 hour, personally speaking. But it's probably going to be the same type of stop loss regardless. Dang, 2 hours still has a little bit more room to go up though. Any type of way for EA, the way how I would play this out, if I was going to buy right here, right now, then I'm not going to put a stop loss right there, but I'm going to put my stop loss probably lower than this load. And then I'm going to go on to the 2 hour time frame and kind of use that as my gauge for the trade. But that's only if it does call for a buy, right? If it doesn't end up calling for a buy, and then this 1 hour time frame and price comes back down to like around here-ish, then I'm definitely not gonna, I'm just gonna be like, I'm not really feeling the trade. But I'm already in GA. G is already apparently in profit. But this is another setup. Hey, if you want to take it, by all means, I'm content with just trading with GA. So there you go. But with this, there's a 2 hour move. That's a good 136 pips, and you're going to be risking around 60 pips. So let me lower this a little lower. There you go. So that's EA right there. I'm going to go ahead and mark it so that I know that I gave that call out. Let's go over to Eurogbp. This call is going to be ending in 6 minutes before I switch it up, before I send out another call. So EG's been complicated, man. Came up to this over here, got us in this entry from last week, then drop. I actually want to do a fresh markup on this because I don't really like passing over a trade from 1 week to another. All right, so let's go ahead and go on to the weekly time frame. And again, another week of EG showing me that it kind of wants to sell. Like last week, we had this bearish candle. Then this week, we have another. It popped up as a bullish candle, but this is a type of bullish candle that I would try to be like, oh, I'm going to look to get into some type of buys on this. Not really. The price has just been really choppy and really consolidating on EG. Personally, for the past how long? Right there. Sorry. So I want to draw that zone. There's another zone down here to watch for. So just really kind of seeing what EG is going to do from here. It's just sloppy right now, honestly. 0.91106. Dang. Peyton, my bad if you're watching this. You told me to draw a zone and put an alert on there, and I definitely forgot to draw and put an alert on there. So that is my fault, but I think that price could potentially still come back up to this high, but it all depends if it's going to just keep falling from right here. Going to the 4-hour time frame, get some more clarity on this. Yeah, from this low. I mean, from here to here, I don't really care for it either for this fib. No, I still want price to low-key come back up here. I definitely see what Peyton was talking about then, about EG. I definitely see it. Yeah, I could see price potentially still coming up back to this high at 0.91350 and then dropping. Gonna wait and see what happens though with EG, because from that sell last week, I just said I'm gonna get out and I'm not really crazy over it. But 1 hour and 2 hour still calling it. Well, naturally they'll still be calling it. 4 hour, on the other hand, is holding at this lower danger zone, which really had me tripping. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this EG sell from last week, because it's just holding right there at that lower danger zone. And this lower danger zone could just be a potential way for EG to push onto the upside. So I'm just gonna go ahead and be like, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. Daily time frame could possibly call for a sell, which is good. But again, I just gonna really wait for price to push back up to that high for me to get into a sell again. Yeah, 15-minute time frame don't look that great for a potential trade for me. Yeah, none of these look great. So I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and be patient, wait and see what happens. Probably see what we can get into on Tuesday or something for EG. But as of right now, I ain't got nothing. Euro NZD. Dang, hold on, let me see. What was this trade? What was this? Oh, I know exactly what this was. Never mind. That was another trade that I had took by myself. But so daily time frame, I had drawn out this trend line. Well, it wasn't on the daily, it was on the weekly, I think. Yeah, weekly time frame, I drew this trend line out. Price had broken through it, retested, continued falling to the downside. I still kind of think that EN could go push to the upside, honestly speaking. But then again, there is the support that it needs to break through for it to go high. And if it's just gonna come back up here and then drop, then I'm more than happy to sell it, because I am bearish on Euro NZD. But just got to see what this is gonna do. If this candle, dang, this 4-hour candle looks pretty nice, but this daily candle right here is telling me that this thing wants to skedaddle to the downside. So not really seeing any kind of opportunity personally for me on Euro NZD right now. Let me look at the lower time frame. Down, push, yep. Nah, I'm not looking at anything on EN right now personally. Let's go ahead and go take a look at what we have over here on arbitrage. Doesn't look anything too great for me either. 1 hour sloppy. 4 hour hasn't caught anything, so the 2 hour probably has already been playing out. Yep, there you go. So 2 hour, if price can come back down, this is how you usually play. If price can come back down to 1.68987 area, then I'll go ahead and get into an EN buy. I have no problem with that whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and set up an alert. Arbitrage. Oop, no, that's not what I want. I want Euro NZD crossing, arbitrage, RSI line, and then only once create, and let's see how that plays out. For those who want to trade it right now, you can go ahead and try to get into the buy. I'd rather just wait for price to